Hey guys, John Nezodam here to put you at ease so that you too can accomplish your goals. Like that sort of thing, please consider subscribing to the channel. I am also active on Instagram and Twitter, also in my Facebook group where I alert you of the next coming video. Today happens to be Throwback Thursday series where we go and do vintage old videos from way back when. So this happens to be Kerbal Space Program from the dates of June 15th, 2015 up to June 17th, 2015. Decided to do 3 days worth of old videos. So you can see me launching this probe with no Kerbal inside, testing the lander around orbit. So Kerbal Space Program has been out for a while. I did mention I use this game to recover from an illness I had in the military. It's called encephalitis, where I completely lost motor function, the ability to speak, talk, and among other things. It's been a long recovery, and I started with this game. Well, I used this game as a venue to recovery. Started streaming on Twitch, and my chat community was very gracious to spend time with me and show me the ropes. So I believe I'm doing a rendezvous here, which is one of the hardest skills in the game. Personally, I think after learning how to do an orbit, which by the way I didn't accomplish until 100 hours or so later, and rendezvousing kind of took me a long time as well. So this is a probe. It doesn't have any SAS. So this is stability assist. I had to do everything manually. And I believe I'm going to go to one of the moons on Kerbal. Minmus, I believe. There are two satellites, I guess, these objects that orbit around Kerbin. Kerbin is the Earth equivalent, if you're thinking about planets. So I am plotting a course to do an orbit Minmus. I believe that's Minmus. It's been a while since I played the game. Alright, and we're about to circularize. We got captured with what's called a sphere of influence. I'm doing a retrograde burn at the apoapsis, the highest point of the place, and then circularize and preparing to land. This takes a lot of skill because stability assist isn't there. So you can see me tumbling around. I don't know if I reloaded the save or something, but I think I might have blown up. Yeah, I did. So that usually happens. I think I reloaded the save and tried again. So this is career mode, by the way, on moderate settings. There are different levels of the game, and I happen to play moderate. It's not to the point where it's too hard, but it does add some challenges in realism that otherwise wouldn't be there if it was a simple normal game. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do another attempt. This whole time I am being coached by my chat. The Kerbal Space community on Twitch is wonderful. There's a lot of people that played this game for a while, and you know, they knew I was new. I played about maybe 300 or 900 hours, I believe, on that. And this was all streaming this. I didn't play offline because this was a game that I learned from my Twitch chat. There's the probe again. Now I'm launching a manned mission. So there we go. By the way, every time I launch, I do the countdown. Actually make the go, no-go calls also. And signal when there's MECO or main engine cutoff, or SECO, second engine cutoff. Trying to keep it official. There are people who worked in the space industry that watched my channel and helped me figure out the game. So here, I'm gonna try again. Landing the probe. So I sent a probe out first because I think this was the first time I went to Midmas. Should be one of the easiest places to land in, or to go to, but I had trouble. I think I may have made it here. Yeah, I did. So it's always a great accomplishment landing in a new place. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Probably my chat. Scratch my head a lot. Alright, it's nighttime. So when I do my launches, I think I was trying to learn transfer windows, which is the timing for when you're aligned to go and do your rocket launches so that you can line up with certain things. Oh, this is a different day because my camera shrank. I thought people didn't want to see my face. At this point, I probably averaged about 5 to 10 viewers, so I did have regulars that came in from the very beginning. I had some people join me for a number of years after that. Here we go. I think I'm doing a rendezvous. So I'm gonna try to talk through this whole video, but this is a very long video. This is a test of how long it takes for me to render something longer than 19 minutes. Most of my series or videos last less than 10 minutes, so figured I'd check the capability of my aging computer. So that's me doing the points for rendezvous. It's the first encounter. And so to meet up with an object that's moving ahead of you, to be underneath the object, so that it's like being on a track in a race. If you run on the inside, you're faster than the guy on the outside. So that's the most basic explanation of how to rendezvous. So technically I'm under, and since I want to slow down, I have to go over the object. burning. I'm doing a maneuver called retrograde. So there's the Kerbal that we saved. And we put them in the lander. I know what I'm doing at this point. I think I'm gonna go to menus. Oh no, I'm going back to Kerbal. Kerbin. So the planet is called Kerbin. Kerbal is the race we're at. Okay, I know why I made myself smaller. I made myself into a Kerbal, so it looks like I'm part of the crew. On the bottom right-hand side. Thought it would be funny. So I've been streaming Kerbal for a while. Then I had a surprise raid from Das Valdez, and I believe I was landing a science lander. So that was like after 300 hours in, I think. And a lot of his community started watching me, but it was like, I think it was around 400 people that showed up, and I crashed my science thing. It was a really big surprise. For those that are trying to figure out how to play this game, Das Valdez has a Kerbal Space Program Academy, KSA, that he does regularly on his Twitch channel. He also has a YouTube, and he does a lot of space industry stuff. So he's a Twitch partner, going through the different sites. He keeps up on space. He also plays different games. We were in the same vicinity when doing some conventions, but I kind of messed up the meeting. I was in the area, but I left because it was too crowded. I had to go back to work too. So it's back in California, so a lot of the conventions are there. What am I doing here? I think I'm doing another thing with the Minmus. Landing a human. No, I don't believe there's a Kerbal in this craft. It would show on the bottom right hand side. Learning all this thing, it has a steep learning curve. I mean, I would do math to be able to see how much fuel I had, and, calculate how much needed to return back. I got pretty good at it, so I did most of it in my head. As long as you know thrust to weight, you can figure out where to go. I'll probably do a tutorial sometime in the future if I manage to get a good computer going, so that tiny computer that survived the hurricane does have problems. I can repair computers, but there's always something that's going to be missing from a computer that has never been damaged. So I want to put that out there. You can't always fix something 100% unless you have the basically, if it's a computer that, if you're working on something, you don't have the factory equipment that was used to manufacture that product, there are definitely going to be things you cannot fix at that level. So it might be something really, really small at the atomic level. So yeah, the small computer, it overheats or it freezes randomly, even though it's great for browsing and doing other stuff. I did try rendering a video, but it doesn't get past a certain point, so I'm just using my old laptop. Anyway, so the most disorienting thing is EVA. That was EVA. It's when you get outside the vehicle. It's disorienting because you have all these dimensions and directions that you can go with space, and your orientation in the camera kind of puts you off. The first time I went EVA, kind of panicked, because well, you should have panicked, but because you could easily drift to space and not know how to get back without knowing how to translate and do your orientation in space, going and firing the retro thrusters or the thrusters to go where you need to go. Alright, I'm making another probe. This is the hangar. There you go. I always fly towards the east, towards the gravitational or natural turn of the Earth, or Kerbal, so that because if you go the other way, it's fighting against the momentum. So by doing it, launching to the east, you go with the momentum. You don't have to burn energy to go the opposite direction. I believe I'm going to the moon. So it's probably a mission to do some science on the moon. I try not to land in a dark area. I think I unlocked solar panels at this point. The chat was explaining to me some stuff. Oh, so I didn't land, even though I have landing legs. I wasted some money. I decided to go back because I think they told me I didn't have enough to land and go back up. So my chat always does the math with me. And we are touching down in water. There's a point, maybe like 500 hours or probably later than that, where I got very good at being able to predict where I land. So I don't play with mods. I do a lot of the math by hand or in my head, and that keeps your mind when your mind is pretty engaged. It helps with something called neuroplasticity and keeps you able to learn anything. It's a good thing to have, keeping your mind engaged, learning. So I unlocked docking ports. So the more science that you get points to upgrade your stuff if you get more equipment. So the whole time, so my chat does help me build these things, these designs. But a lot of it was me doing simple stuff. And they always ask me to play with mods, but after a while they figured out I don't do that thing. There's also another streamer, EJ_SA, or Eric Johnson Space Administration. He also raided me one day, and I think it was even more. He did multiple raids. Got to me, got my channel to where it is right now, along with the official KSP channel, which I'm thankful for. But so EJSA does no mods also, and he builds things that are incredible, massive things too, and intricate engineering marvels. So I'll link their channels in the description below, along with the main KSP channel. A lot of the people, members in this group, helped me out here, and they also were responsible for my streaming computer, the gaming computer that's damaged. I had a really bad luck with water and as you've seen. I try to repair what I have, and fortunately it works to a point. So there's gonna be a time when I'm gonna need to do another computer, but I'm not gonna put things in my social media to say, if you want to help out or things like that anymore. That kind of thing scares me. Well, not really scares me, it's just, I just feel like the money could be used somewhere else for people that really deserve it, just to get playing video games online. It is what it is. Right, I think this is the first time I landed, and I got pretty good. So they told me to practice on minimus, which I did. The moon, this is the Earth equivalent of the real moon, so it's 1/8, well, sort of. So the gravity there is the same, but it's like 1/8 the size. But it's harder to land here than it is to than on the other moon, Minmus. I'm trying to orient the solar panel to recharge batteries. Because once those run out, you don't have control of the craft unless you have a pilot. So Kerbals have different jobs. There's a scientist engineer. We have the pilot. Scientists can, so all of them can gather science. But a scientist, if you have one on board, boosts your ability to do science collection and transmission too. So you can transmit science to your home base. Okay, I don't know if my Kerbal dies here. Oh, listen, I went head first. Okay, that was a good design then. And everything fell apart. and the engineer, they can, once they reach a certain level, they can fix broken parts, so your parts can break under stress. So I unlock more stuff, making a new lander here. And there are creative ways to make things in this space hangar, or the launch hangar. And what I did when I put two objects together is called clipping, which a lot of players, or like these authentic Kerbal players, they don't like clipping. There's also a lot of players who do the same thing, just to make things more aesthetically pleasing or add more function. I think I rebuilt it because I didn't like how it looked. Or the chat said I would have too much drag. So aerodynamics does play a part in this game. You can actually start making planes. There's missions that have to do with doing planes. But I like doing rockets. I did like 100 hours or so of making planes, but most of the stuff that I made later on is just rockets. I used to play IL-2's German bit that I'll probably play on Throwback Thursday. Eventually, when I finish going through all these old videos, I want to start introducing other stuff. So I'm checking on my probe. And I think I destroyed it. And this is the place where you have mission control. You select missions and get rewards, Kerbal bucks, money, science points, prestige. So I think we have a problem here. There's no decouplers to separate. I'm rebuilding the thing again. Now I added decouplers. Hopefully it goes through. So it's top heavy. Once you release the bottom half, top wants to go upside down. So I was trying to figure out a way to off balance, make it more balancing. Probably should remove the rockets from the top, or the second stage. So it is top heavy. Or there's another method of slowing down during the ascent. You really don't need to go past 400 meters per second at that point unless you're at 10,000 feet. There's a couple of tricks that the chap taught me. I think I was too heavy on the top, miscalculated the what's called delta V. It determines how much fuel you need to do certain actions. We might make orbit here. Kind of looks like I don't have enough power. Not power, but right there we go. Yeah, this safe power. Might be rendezvousing with another thing here. So I'm relaunching because I didn't like the launch profile. If you managed to stick with me this far, I appreciate your time. I know this seems like a long drawn out video, but I really do appreciate you being here. If you do like the content and want to help me grow, obviously I'm going to ask you to like, follow, comment, or subscribe. You can also ding that bell, and see you in 3 days. This is not me signing out, by the way. I'm just letting you know. Alright, and then we're doing another rendezvous. These time lapses are kinda too fast to follow. If I were gonna do this thing over, I'll probably skip and slow down, skip some stuff that you don't need to see, and then slow down some of the video footage so that you can follow better. But I'll leave that for the learn something new or a tutorial video. By the way, I am utilizing the RTX voice technology by NVIDIA. Right now I have a window open and a fan blowing right at me. So there's kind of loud and cars outside. So, and I'm not playing a video or a video game or anything in the background. So this is how RTX voice should sound. I don't know if you've seen the one with the gameplay video and how wonky it sounds. That's because my resources were really limited, and I was at 95% up to 100% CPU usage. This AI technology that removes background noise needs a lot of resources, it seems. Well, with my dated stuff, it kind of makes sense. Here I am approaching another craft. I believe I'm trying to... This is my first time docking, I believe. It's another thing. So this might get a little frustrating if this was my first time. I understood what I needed to do in the chat, but I hit it. So yeah, this was my first time, I think. I collided with it, which is something you should do in space. In real life, too. Oh, yeah. Whoops. So I hope I'm not speeding up into the thing and ram it again. And now we're in the dark side, so I can't really see what I'm doing. And there, I passed it. Now I'm trying to go back. So this whole time the chat's trying to tell me where to go. And there's a huge delay. So I'm pressing during the delay, pressing the buttons. By then it's already too late. Now I'm past it again. So I actually mastered this skill about maybe 700 hours in. It took a long time just to get the orientation right. And the whole time chat was telling me there's an auto-dock mod you can get, or a mech jet or whatever it is. And I refused. I wanted to play the game as it was without anything to assist me. The graphical mods would have destroyed the stream, so I wouldn't have enough resources. So here we go. Okay, I eventually docked. Sure. Alright, so they taught me how to do time warping to stop yourself from moving. So you time warp a little bit, it resets the movement of the object. Oh, I might have reverted. Oh, I gave up. So that's all there is. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, or thank you guys for joining me in this video. If you like the content, you know what to do. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, ding that bell, and I'll see you in 3 days. This is John Nezodam, signing out. Take care. You guys are essential.